He makes me feel alive again. Not whispered, not ashamed, calm, certain, like she had already practiced saying it out loud. I froze in the hallway, keys still in my hand. The door hadn't even clicked shut behind me. Her voice carried from the kitchen, soft, almost relieved. I didn't know it could feel like this again, she added. A quiet laugh, not the polite one she uses with colleagues. The real one. I didn't move. I don't know how long I stood there. Long enough for the sentence to settle somewhere deep, where things don't echo, they stay. I stepped back outside, closed the door quietly, waited 10 seconds, then came in again, louder this time. Hey, I called. Her voice stopped mid-sentence. By the time I reached the kitchen, her phone was face down, smile ready, shoulders relaxed, too quickly. You're home early. Yeah. No questions. No tensión. Just adjustment. She reached for the groceries like nothing had shifted. But something had. Not in that moment. Before it. We've been together long enough to recognize the difference between silence and absence. Silence is when nothing is said. Absence is when something used to be there and isn't anymore. She stopped asking how my day went 2 months ago. Not suddenly. Gradually. Like a habit fading. At first it was I forgot. Then it became normal. 3 weeks ago, she started locking her phone. Not a big deal. People do that. Except she never used to. Now it never leaves her hand. Even at home. Even when there's nothing to hide. 2 weeks ago, she started smiling at nothing. That one was harder to ignore. You could tell the difference. There's a kind of smile people give the world. And there's one they give someone specific. She wasn't giving it to me. I didn't ask. That's probably the part people will question. Why didn't I just ask? Because I wasn't confused. I was confirming. That night, we ate together. Same plates. Same chairs. Same small talk. She told me about a meeting. I nodded. She laughed at something I didn't hear. Her phone lit up once. She glanced down. And there was again that smile. Quick. Private. Alive. Gone the second she looked up. Everything okay? I asked. Yeah, she said. Just work. She didn't hesitate. That's what made it worse. Later, she left her jacket on the chair. Her phone slipped halfway out of the pocket. Screen dark. Close enough. I looked at it. Didn't touch it. Not yet. Instead, I walked into the bedroom and opened the wardrobe. Top shelf. Back corner. A small travel bag. Already packed. Not everything. Just the essentials. Enough to leave without noise. I zipped it closed again. Carefully. Like it might give me away. When I came back, she was on the couch. Scrolling. Smiling. Not noticing me. Come sit, she said without looking up. I did. Sat beside her, close enough to feel the warmth of her arm. Far enough that we didn't touch. At some point, she leaned her head briefly against my shoulder. Out of habit, maybe, or memory. Long day, she murmured. Yeah, I said. I didn't move. Didn't lean into it. Didn't pull away either. Just stayed still. She fell asleep like that. Phone still in her hand. Screen lighting up once more before it dimmed. A name flashed for half a second. I didn't need to read it. I already knew what it meant. Careful, I slid the phone from her fingers and placed it on the table. She didn't wake. Didn't notice. I watched her for a while, trying to find something familiar. Something that still belonged to us. I found pieces, but they felt outdated, like they hadn't been updated in a long time. Back in bed, she turned away from me, like always now. Good night, she said. Night. No pause. No check if I was okay. I stared at the ceiling. Not angry. That part surprised me. I thought I'd be angry. Instead, I felt finished, like I'd already gone through it, just silently. She thinks I'm already gone. I heard it in her voice, the way she said it, like I was something that used to matter. What she doesn't know, I've been getting ready, not to catch her, not to argue, just to leave in a way that doesn't give her anything to fight. In the dark, I turn my head slightly, watch her breathe, peaceful, unbothered, certain. And for the first time in a long time, I didn't wonder how to fix us. I wondered how quietly I could disappear. I woke up before her, didn't set an alarm, just opened my eyes and knew The room was still dark. She was turned away, breathing slow, steady. Unchanged. I stayed still for a second, listening. Nothing felt urgent anymore. In the kitchen, I made coffee like always. Same mug, same routine. But I didn't wait for her this time. I drank it alone. She walked in 20 minutes later, hair messy, voice soft. Morning, morning. She kissed my cheek. Automatic, light, like signing a receipt. I might be late tonight, she said, opening the fridge. Okay. No follow-up. No why. No curiosity. She paused for half a second. Not because she cared, because she noticed I didn't ask. Work thing, she added. Got it. That was enough. She studied me for a moment. Like something didn't line up. You're quiet today. I'm just tired. That satisfied her. Or maybe it didn't matter. Before leaving, she checked her phone. Smile. Gone. Bake. Shoes. Door. Text me if you need anything, she said. I won't. She laughed lightly, like it was a joke. It wasn't. The apartment felt different after she left. Not empty. Clear. I went to the bedroom. Opened the wardrobe. The bag was still there. Ready. Waiting. Then I did something I hadn't done before. I sat down and made a list. Not emotional. Not dramatic. Just practical. Things to cancel. Things to move. Things to stop sharing. Halfway through, I paused. Looked around the room. 9 years. Reduced to logistics. Her phone buzzed on the kitchen counter. She forgot it. For the first time in weeks. I didn't rush. Didn't hesitate either. I just walked over. Looked at the screen. One message. Still there. Not locked. Not hidden. Just careless. I read the first line. Then I put the phone down. Face up this time. I didn't need more. That was enough. When I left the apartment, I took the bag with me. Not everything. Just enough to make sure. I wouldn't have to come back right away. She called 10 minutes after I left. I watched it ring. Didn't answer. Then a message. Did you take my phone? I kept walking. Another one. Where are you? I stopped at the corner. Looked at her name on the screen. For a second, habit almost won. Then it passed. I typed. Work. Sent it. Nothing more. Her reply came fast. Can you bring my phone? I need it. I stared at that. Are you okay? Not did something happen. Just the phone. I'll leave it with a neighbor. Sent. 3 dots. Stopped. Started again. Stopped. Why are you acting weird? I didn't answer. At the neighbor's door, I knocked once. Handed it over. Can you give this to her? Of course. No questions. Back outside, my pockets felt lighter. Too light. I walked without direction for a while. Not thinking. Just moving. Around noon, she called again. From another number. I let it ring. Then a voice message. I didn't play it right away. I sat on a bench. Watched people pass. Normal lives. Normal conversations. Finally, I pressed play. Her voice was different. Tighter. Hey, I don't understand what's going on. If this is about something, just talk to me. A pause. Then softer. You're scaring me. I replayed that last line once. Not because I believed it. Because it sounded unfamiliar. I locked my phone. Stood up. For the first time, she noticed something was wrong. For the first time, I didn't feel the need to fix it. She was waiting when I got back. Not sitting. Standing. Like she'd been moving around and couldn't decide where to stop. My phone, she asked immediately. It's with a neighbor. She blinked. You left it there? Yeah. A pause. Short. Sharp. Why would you do that? I shrugged slightly. You said you needed it. That wasn't the answer she expected. She crossed her arms. You're acting strange. I know. That threw her off. Okay, she said slowly. So what is this? I didn't respond right away. Just walked past her, set my keys down, took off my jacket. Normal movements. Controlled. This isn't funny, she added. I'm not joking. Another pause. Longer this time. She studied my face like she was trying to recognize something that had changed shape. What's going on with you? I leaned against the counter, looked at her properly. Not quickly, not carefully, just directly. When were you going to tell me? Her expression didn't break. It flickered. That's how I knew. Tell you what, she asked. Too smooth. Too ready. I nodded once. Okay. No argument. No pressure. Just that. She shifted her weight. You're being vague on purpose. I don't need to be specific. Silence. Not the quiet kind. The heavy one. She looked away first. Toward the hallway. Toward the door. Anywhere but me. That's not fair, she said. Probably not. Another flicker. Now, irritation. Can you just say what you think is happening? I watched her carefully. Gave her space. Go ahead, I said. You tell me. That's when it changed. Not dramatically. Just enough. Her shoulders dropped. Her tone softened. You've been distant, she said. For weeks. I almost smiled. Have I? I asked. Yes, she said quickly. You don't talk, you don't ask me anything. You're just not here. I nodded slowly. Interesting. She frowned. What does that mean? It means you noticed. Now she was confused. Not defensive. Not angry. Confused. That was new. I don't like this, she said quietly. I know. Another silence. She stepped closer. Can we just reset this conversation? No. That landed. Hard. Why, she asked. Because if we reset it, you get control back. I didn't say that. Instead, I said, because I already heard enough. There it was. Not everything. Just enough. Her face stilled. Completely. Heard what? I held her gaze. Didn't blink. Didn't rush. And for the first time since I walked in, she didn't have an immediate answer. She laughed. Too fast. Too light. I don't know what you think you heard, but you sounded happy. That stopped her. Not defensive. Not angry. Just still. It was work, she said. You're overthinking this. I'm not thinking at all. She exhaled sharply. This is ridiculous. Then it should be easy to explain. Silence. A long one. She looked at me like she was deciding something. Not what to say. How much to admit. It's not what you think, she said finally. I nodded. That usually means it is. Her jaw tightened. You're twisting this. No. Another pause. Then she said it. Carefully. Measured. There's someone I've been talking to. There it was. Not dramatic. Not even loud. Just placed between us like it had always been there. I didn't react. Didn't interrupt. Just waited. It's nothing serious, she added quickly. It just happened. I tilted my head slightly. Did it make you feel alive again? Her face changed. Not shock. Recognition. That's when she knew. I hadn't guessed. She went quiet after that. Not defensive anymore. Not trying to explain. Just recalculating. How much did you hear? She asked. Enough. She nodded slowly. Like that confirmed something for her. It's not what it sounds like. She tried again, softer now. I know exactly what it sounds like. A breath. Long. Careful. I didn't plan it, she said. It just became something. I watched her choose every word like it mattered more than the truth. Does he know about me? I asked. Yes. No hosetashchen. That one was honest. And you still said that. She didn't answer. She didn't need to. He listens, she said after a moment. We talk. That's all. You stopped, she added quickly. You stopped seeing me. You stopped. I didn't stop. I said it quietly. She stopped mid-sentence. I was still there. I continued. You just moved. That landed. Not loudly. But it stayed. Her eyes filled just slightly. Not tears. Pressure. This isn't fair, she whispered. It's not supposed to be. Silence again. Heavier now. No more pretending. What do you want me to say? She asked. Nothing. That confused her. Nothing. I already heard the part that mattered. Another pause. Then, barely above a whisper. Are you leaving? I looked at her. Really looked this time. Not at who she was. At who she had become without me. I already did, I said. She shook her head quickly. No, you're here. For now. That's when the panic showed. Not loud, but real. Don't do that, she said, stepping closer. Don't just decide this. I didn't decide it today. She froze. What? I held her gaze. I've been ready. That was the first moment she looked scared. Not of losing me, of not controlling how it happened. Ready for what? She asked. To leave. She shook her head. No, you're just upset. We can fix this. I didn't answer. I'll stop talking to him, she added quickly. That came too fast. Too easy. Will you? I asked. Yes. Even if I didn't hear anything. She hesitated. Just a second. Enough. I nodded. That's what I thought. She stepped closer, reaching for my arm. I didn't pull away, but I didn't respond either. You're overreacting, she said, softer now. It didn't mean anything. It meant something to you. No, You felt alive. Silence. Her hand slowly dropped. What do you want from me? She whispered. Nothing. That word hit harder this time. I walked past her, opened the wardrobe, took the bag down. She watched, not moving, not stopping me. You're really doing this? She asked. Yes. For this. I looked at her. For what already happened. She didn't follow me to the door. Didn't try to block it. Are you coming back? She asked. I paused, hand on the handle. No. And this time, she believed me. I didn't slam the door. I closed it carefully, like I didn't want to wake something that was already over. She didn't call right away. Not the first hour. Not the second. That surprised me. I checked into a small place across the city. Nothing special. Clean. Quiet. Temporary. I sat on the edge of the bed and finally opened my phone. 3 missed calls. 1 message. Can we talk tomorrow? I stared at it, then locked the screen. The next morning, I woke up lighter. Not happier, just lighter. Around noon, another message came. Longer this time. I ended it. I told him it was a mistake. Please don't do this. We can fix it. I'll do anything. Anything. That word always comes late. I didn't reply. Instead, I opened my email, scrolled, selected, sent. A few seconds later, my phone rang. Her name. I let it ring once, twice. Then I answered. What did you send me? She asked immediately. Her voice wasn't soft anymore. It was shaking. Just something you should have had already, I said. I don't understand, she said. Why would you? Why now? Because now you're ready to listen. I didn't say it like that. I filed it weeks ago, I said instead. Silence. Complete. What? She whispered. I didn't leave because of what you said. I continued. I left because by the time you said it, there was nothing left to stay for. Her breathing changed. Uneven. I was going to fix this, she said. I told you I ended it. I know. Then why? Because you only ended it after you got caught. That landed. Heavy. Final. Another silence. Longer. I thought, she started then stopped. I thought you were already gone, she said finally. I closed my eyes for a second. Not from pain. From clarity. I said. And for the first time since all of this started, there was nothing left to explain. The strange thing is it didn't hurt the way I expected. Not sharp. Not loud. Just quiet. Like walking into a room where something important used to be and realizing it's gone, but the space is still warm. I thought I'd miss her voice. I didn't. I thought I'd replay every moment, looking for where it broke. I didn't. What stayed with me wasn't what she said. It was how easily she said it. Like I had already faded. Like I had been replaced before I even noticed I was disappearing. And maybe that's the part people don't talk about. It's not always one big betrayal. Sometimes it's slow, small shifts, unnoticed distances, until one day, someone else is standing where you used to be. I don't hate her. That surprised me too. I just see her clearly now. And more importantly, I see myself. I stayed longer than I should have. Not because I didn't notice, but because I kept hoping something would return on its own. It doesn't. If someone starts feeling alive somewhere else, it usually means something inside your relationship has already gone quiet, and you can't force life back into something that's already left. Leaving wasn't dramatic. No slam doors. No final speeches. Just a decision made in silence. Long before anyone asked questions. And maybe that's the real lesson. Pay attention to what's slowly disappearing. not just what suddenly breaks. If you've ever felt like you're still there, but not really seen anymore, you already understand this story. And if this hit a little too close to home, take that seriously. Backhand index pointing right, like the video if you felt this. Backhand index pointing right, subscribe for more real, emotional stories that stay with you. Sometimes the quiet endings say the most.